what's going on, guys? Jonathan here, and this is 5 myths and 5 facts about Android. So starting with the first myth, a lot of people like to say that Android is just like Windows. And when people say this, basically they're pushing a narrative with all the competition out there and the media who likes to support other platforms and companies. So when people say these things and they read this stuff, they're like, wow, Windows has had a lot of trouble because Microsoft, they messed around with that platform enough where people question it, and it is questionable. But when you look at Android, it is nothing like Windows. As a Windows user, I can tell you the updates that come to Android are great. Also, to use an Android phone, it's really simple to do and it's straightforward. The user experience is fantastic. If you like to download applications, you want to watch movies, listen to music, check your email, use social apps to connect with people, it is a very simple platform to use and you will not be confused. Now, moving on to the second myth, a lot of people like to say that Android is just not safe, that there's malware issues and spam and all sorts of other stuff when you're downloading applications. Well, the first thing about your phone is that there's built-in security with an Android device because Android wants to protect you. That's right, the user. So also in Android L, which is going to be in the next version of Android, all applications are going to be scanned and made sure that they're safe. If you choose on your phone to download an application that's not authenticated by the App Store, of course you can install whatever you want on your phone because Google gives you that power. But if you want to actually be protected, of course, you'll keep the default selection on your phone and make sure that you don't install anything else. This myth that Android phones are cheap and lack quality. Well, I'll tell you this much. There are various manufacturers for Android devices, including HTC, Samsung, even LG, and also with Google Motorola. You have a lot of choices for a device. So if one company produces a phone that might not impress you, I wouldn't say to blame the whole platform for cheap devices. You have to look at the manufacturing process. So if Samsung creates a fantastic phone one year, that doesn't necessarily mean that HTC will have the best phone also, and vice versa. Every year, these manufacturers are trying to produce better phones. As an Android user, you benefit from that because all these companies are still competing with each other to get your attention. Now, here's another good one. The updates are too slow on Android, or there's fragmentation issues where everyone's using a different version of Android. Well, most people who are using an Android device understand that the different manufacturers are involved with the overlay of Android that you're using. So if you're using some various version of Android with HTC Sense or TouchWiz, those are just a couple examples, you're going to expect updates that might be a little bit slower because those manufacturers have to connect with the carrier. If you want fast updates, the simple answer is get a Nexus phone. That is the phone that is produced by Google. Google's involved with that, and you'll get more than one update throughout the year. And what happens here is that you benefit from the updates because the experience keeps getting better. Now, this is one of my all-time favorite myths about Android, that it has lag issues. Now, I would have to also say most of the people who criticize Android and say these things, they are not developers and they do not understand how Android works. If you're using an application and say you were downloading something in the background, or you had multiple applications opened, of course that could create lag for your phone. It does not matter if it's an Android device or any other kind of device. And I noticed the people who do these reviews, now they're complaining about every platform. They're just not understanding this. And I would say the most important thing that you can learn from a video like this is get your information from trusted resources. And if you really want to go and follow up about this, before you make that purchase, go to the store and use the phone or the tablet or even a smartwatch these days yourself, and you understand how the device works before you make that purchase. So anyways, I hope you guys found this video informative. If you did, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to share it with your friends. I'll see you guys later.